Okay, we just had the Guitar Summit.
That's right.
We just had the Harmonica Summit. And now we've got the Keyboard Summit. What is it?
Well, probably not terribly dissimilar from the other ones. We're going to get, all the great keyboardists in Portland that I can wrangle, along with a really great rhythm section. And we put everything up, as many keyboards as we can run into the Goodfoot sound system. And, we'll do a little bit of, sort of at the beginning of the night, each player will get a chance to maybe do a small ensemble or a trio or quartet thing with the rhythm section. And then we'll move into sort of group covers, improvisations. I know second set we like to start with no rhythm section, just the keyboard players, which is really fun. I actually have the recording from last year when we did that, and it came out very much like In a Silent Way,
really?
Kind of Miles Davis-y. Yeah, definitely. There was some of the guys in the group are definitely jazz guys, and I know at least a couple of them were definitely doing their Chick Corea, Herbie Hancock impressions, for sure.
So who are you going to have?
It's still a little bit up in the air, but I know confirmed people are Sidell Jones, Dave Fleschner, Jeff Baxter, Ben Darwish, Chris Phillips. I think Andrew Oliver is going to be there a little later, as is Steve Swatkins. Galen Clark was on the list, but I think he's going to be out of the country now. We added Tom Morrison, who's also one of the touring keyboardists for Scott Pemberton. And there's somebody else that I'm blanking on, but I can't think of who it is right now.
So how do you do this? I mean, like, how does it work? How do these? I mean, those are each pretty strong personalities.
Yeah, well, and as I've said before, keyboardists I think are the players that get to play with each other the least.
Yeah.
You'll get two guitarists or a couple of singers or horn players or even drummers, percussionists, but keyboardists, we got these big unwieldy instruments. Like actually getting two guys with full keyboards and Leslies and the whole thing into your room is like it's a hard deal. So we might get to hang out, but we rarely get to play together. So all the guys are really stoked to do it. Nobody has had any demands or issues or anything. Everybody is just really excited. Yeah.
So how many do you think you might have all playing at the same time?
Oh, hopefully all of them.
All of them?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Our goal is to set up enough keyboards that everyone has something to play. For sure. Yeah.
That should be fun. Do you have any ensemble tunes picked out that you might?
Usually we end up with maybe 2 or 3 songs, like maybe a song that we all know that we can end a set with, or just to provide some sort of a stability mid jamming.
Yeah.
I think last time we played The Chicken, and trying to remember. I think Will It Go Round in Circles might be on the list. Generally keyboard-led kinds of songs.
Yeah. It must be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. And last year I really liked, in the first set everyone did their small groups, and it was really nice to hear everybody sort of get to show what their sound is like. Andrew Oliver did sort of one of his jazz pieces. Steve Swatkins did sang a Ray Charles song, and everybody did a little slightly different thing that really gave you an idea of who they were. And then when we got to jam together, you had a little better basis of understanding what everyone was doing. Yeah.
Well, you're all over the place with your music. How do you decide what you're going to do? I mean, just you.
Yeah, I mean. I tend to just go with last-minute inspiration, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. When we get there, I think what song I'm going to do is probably one of my last thoughts. But I definitely, I think last time I sang a John Lennon tune.
Really?
And just sort of played. We did a sort of a funky version, but I don't know what I'm going to do this time. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of times I talk with some of the people in Mel Brown's septet.
Okay.
And when Thera was really leading that band, he would just sort of wait and see how the crowd felt.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to want to do something upbeat or slow, or if I'm first, I might want to ease in with something slow. But if I'm towards the end, I mean, it just sort of depends on how everything shakes out.
And does what the guy before you, what he does?
Absolutely. If I'm going after Steve Swatkins, I'm probably not going to try and sing anything.
I didn't think about that component.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any competition, would there?
Yeah, I don't know. But I know, for example, Tom Morrison asked me if he could do a trio tune, and so I expect he's got something really good up his sleeve, and you just never know.
Yeah. So, when is it? Where is it?
It's the last Saturday of this month, March 31st, at the Goodfoot, which, if you don't know, is at Southeast 28th and Stark.
Yep. So you're in the middle of this sort of cycle at the Crystal Hotel. How's that been for you?
Well, it was really fun. It was a week-long residency, which they're doing for a different artist comes and plays for a whole week. And I was really excited to do my week. We booked it months and months ago, and so I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do. And I got to come in and do a different tribute each night. And I definitely put it as a challenge to myself to try to play different songs every night. So I think there was around 100, somewhere between 100 and 150 songs that I had to perform. But I loved it. It was really fun. Definitely hard on the brain, though.
I'll bet. Did you have to wear a different outfit every night?
Yeah, well, I didn't have to, but...
That's an interesting thing, though. I mean, obviously, to get into almost a totally different mindset, every night.
Absolutely, and I mean, with 20 to 30 different songs every night, I definitely had to, had to stay on my game.
So you have a rock and roll record coming out, a rock record. What is it?
That's right. Next month, it's we like to call it "What Would Happen If Becker and Fagan ran a jam band." It's sort of like it's sort of a bit like early Steely Dan meets late Fish, maybe somewhere in that realm. Big sort of guitar climaxes, but then what's going on with the actual songs are a little maybe jazzier, but still rock. Definitely classic rock sounding was what we wanted. It's a collaboration with Sean Leahy, who's a really great guitar player out of Sacramento. We spent maybe a year or two just sort of knowing each other through Everyone Orchestra and thinking, I like that guy, I like that guy, we should play together. But we were in different bands, and then we spent a good solid year sort of trying to put a band together, different rhythm sections, and trying different people out. And finally we decided who we wanted to work with, and we spent about a year recording and mixing this record independently.
So who else is on it?
Basically, it's just a quartet. So we have a bass player named Murph, who's a Bay Area, sort of a standard. He plays with everybody, and he's just awesome. And the drummer is a guy named Zach Bowden, who is currently on tour with Jackie Green.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's good to be busy, huh?
It is good to be busy. It's definitely... it's one of the fortunate things I think about living in Portland is that there's so much music going on that I can have a living as a musician. I feel very fortunate to get to do this for a living, that's for sure.